Councillor McLean.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I'm not going to get into the politics of union negotiations here, but you have how many plants? 30?
We have 35 facilities in the U.S.
And that's counting the 3 that you just acquired.
That's everything, yes.
The ones that were shown to us today with the infractions and all that, were all those part of the 3 that you just acquired?
They were acquired in 2005, 2006.
But they weren't built from you, so you acquired them.
That's correct.
So that's where the problem that we heard today was dealing with those 3 facilities.
That's correct.
So the other 32 facilities are spread throughout the United States.
Yes, concentrated in the Northeast and the Southeast.
Are they in urban settings or rural settings or industrial settings?
It's a mix. They're both.
Both? And so some of them would be have a close proximity to residential houses?
Yes.
How close on the average?
Well, some are literally across the street.
And some of these facilities have been owned and operated by your company for over 25 years?
Yes, up to 25 years.
Up to 25 years? In that time, has your company ever experienced any environmental incidents of a catastrophe proportion, or of a proportion where people have gotten sick, or the high rate of cancer or asthma in any of those 32 facilities that you have?
No. No.
You know,
Excuse me,
folks,
Mr. Chair.
it's been a long day, but I don't think anyone laughed when you made your presentations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate that. I think these questions for my own personal information, or those that might want to listen, are very important. So you have 32 facilities that have been operating for 20, 25 years, and you haven't had any incidents of health where people have been documented as high rates of cancer or anything else?
No. And if I may, had there been operating issues or emissions issues that presented even a remote threat of that over even a longer period of time, let alone a shorter period of time, the regulators would have stepped in immediately.
And these 32 communities that you operate in, some of them have just renewed their contracts?
That's correct.
And what process does that entail? Is that public consultation involved there?
Well, in some cases, the communities have the contractual right to extend the existing agreement by certain terms, and in the case of 2 of our projects in Florida, they had the ability and the right to negotiate with us an extension of those existing agreements, and in 2 cases, expansions of the facilities by 50%.
And you do testings and readings and monitoring of all those plants?
Yes,
And
exhaustively.
they're open to the public?
Yes.
And in your communities, is there a public group or a public organization made up of members of the community that are on a oversight committee that deal or liaison with you and the community?
There are often advisory committees, ad hoc advisory committees, boards that work with the communities or the county commissions, whatever it may be, to advise not just on the facility, but typically on broader issues of recycling and waste reduction and how it all works together.
And I'm sure you encourage that as a good corporate citizen.
Absolutely. We don't want to see any waste coming into the facility that doesn't have some other higher use.
The facility in Florida with 1 million tons, whereabouts is that again?
Fairfax County, Virginia.
And is that all rural area? Or
it's a mix. It's suburban Washington, D.C. Some of it's still rural. It's disappearing, but some of it's
farmlands and whatnot around it?
A bit, yeah.
Any problems there with soil or animals or food that you're aware of? How many employees do you have?
All in, I think we have 2,500 employees. A total in the company about 3,500, about 2,700 employees in the field operating the facilities.
And I'm sure most of those people live close to where they work?
Absolutely. Live in the community, pay
Your
taxes.
turnover's like about a 3% turnover?
Yes.
That's pretty good in the industry?
I have friends at these facilities, shift supervisors I've known for 20 years.
Do you think that they would honestly work in a facility if they felt that their health and that of their friends, neighbors, kids, grandkids, if that was jeopardized, they'd be sticking with your company that long?
Absolutely not. We've had those discussions.
And
Contrary, they're very proud of what they do. They feel they're making a difference.
And, excuse me, last question there. Obviously, the 32, and I'm leaving the 3 that you just acquired that obviously you're trying to fix up and bring into some higher standards than what are in place right now. But talking the other 32, there's different technologies. What's your most recent facility that has been built? The newest one?
The newest one has been an expansion of a facility we built in 1992 in Lee County, Florida, and it's a 600 ton per day expansion unit on that facility, and that's completed, I think, last year and put into operation.
Okay, thank you very much. And I guess the technology that is proposed, if this goes in, the technology for the scrubbing and identifying all that, it's a technology that has been tried and tested that you're confident in, or?
Yes, absolutely, it has been, and there are even some advances on that would be planned here. Did you want to address that briefly, Sam?
I also wanted to mention that the technology, the mass burn technology, we are just weeks away from breaking ground, or months away from breaking ground on one of our facility expansion project in Honolulu, Hawaii, and also in Dublin, Ireland.
Well, if it's good for Ireland, you know. One other question, the gentleman that was here from the company that was making bricks for the ash, have you heard of that?
I've spoken to him. I'm not greatly familiar with his process or his products, but we've seen an evolution in efforts to render beneficial use from the ash residue from these facilities. There's been a great deal of our research and development done on it in the U.S. and I think in Canada as well. So it holds great promise for future use of that material.
Thank you.